All right, take 3. I was 10 minutes into the first version of this, and I had said a lot of good stuff. And then I got a phone call. I'm not going to try to dwell on that. I'm going to try to get over that. I'm going to try to stay calm. Okay? It's okay. All right. I really want to make this video, though, even though it's my second video of the day. I usually don't do 2 videos in a day. But we just had a 10-cent bump in the price. And that's pretty significant because the price had been doing nothing but going down for a long time. But it'd really been going down the past few days because it had been holding pretty strong above $1. And it got down to 41 cents. And maybe I'm sure we all know, or many of us know, that it was thanks to Pancake Swap selling their liquidity. And they have a lot of liquidity. From what Brian Legend was saying, they have enough liquidity to keep selling $2,000 every hour up until Sacrifice Day. So that's a lot of liquidity. And that's what was pushing that price down, keeping it down, and the buy pressure just wasn't able to overcome it. And so, we had a 10-cent bump just now, and I know what the fudders will say, because I've heard them say it to me before. They're going to be like, organic growth, huh? Brian Legend used the SIF, huh? And it's like, well, it was the SIF that made a $50,000 purchase. If you look at how much the SIF was at earlier today and you look at it now, it's about $50,000 lower. But for the price to have gone up to where it's at, which is 10 cents higher, it required $1.1 million of volume, most of which was buying. And the SIF only made a $50,000 purchase. So we're talking about, $750,000 of buying, probably. There was some selling, I'm sure, that occurred, but most of it was buying, because it was in. If you look at the 24-hour volume, it's over $1 million now, and the clock starts over at 8 p.m. So that's just in the last 2 hours. We had over $1 million worth of volume in the last 3 hours. And 50,000 of that was the SIF. The other million, perhaps, was buying pressure, organic buying pressure. People taking full advantage of this dip to load their bags up, all right, to buy more Safuu than you've ever been able to buy before, and getting ready for Sacrifice Day because they know what's coming, all right? Because it's like Daniel Prado was saying today in his video, in his live. He was like, people who are selling right now do not know what they bought. They don't know what they bought. They are buying in like what we have bought into. We Safuu investors who are holding strong, we have bought into a blockchain. We are in pre-sale right now. We're like in pre-sale, because actually pre-sale is going to be the sacrifice month. We're in pre-sale right now. And that is what we've bought into. We are super early in a blockchain. Imagine, and I don't know if anybody that's invested in Safuu has been in crypto since the beginning, but imagine if any one of us had the foresight to buy some Bitcoin 12 years ago when it was literally free. I don't know if it was free I think it was free when it first came out. Like you could just, ask somebody for it or something. I don't know. It like had next to no value when it came out 12 years ago. Imagine if somebody had the foresight to buy it and hold it. Or, in 2017, if somebody got in on in Binance when it first started. Binance, I don't know what the opening price was. I think it was under $10. I think it might have even been like $2 or something like that. If someone knows better than me, please leave it in the comments. But if you got in early in 2017 with Binance, that thing it shot up to, actually I think it was below $1 now that I'm remembering Binance. But anyways, if you had gotten in early on Binance, you'd be doing well. Same with Ethereum whenever it came out. I think 2014 is when Ethereum came out. And forget about Shiba Inu. If any of us were smart enough to have gotten into Shiba Inu in January of just last year, by July of just last year, you would have skipped right past millionaire and been billionaires. You would have been a billionaire. The person that owns like half of the Shiba Inu that exists, they bought $8,000 worth of Shiba Inu in January of last year. And now that same Shiba Inu is worth over $5 billion. So, yeah, there are stories like that in crypto, and I'm sure, there are others that I can't think of right off the top of my head, but there are stories in crypto of people like you and me, average people, who just, they were invested, they were trying crypto after crypto after crypto. They made maybe 1,000 mistakes. And then that one correct crypto, that one right decision they made them skip right past millionaires straight to billionaires. Like, yeah, that's the beauty of crypto. Like you can make 1,000 mistakes, but you make one right decision and you're set for life. You create generational wealth, like money that you're going to pass on to your kids. So that is what I believe we're looking at right now with Safuu. This is a high conviction play for me. I believe a lot in it. I believe that Safuu is that next Binance. Is it the next Shiba Inu? I don't know about that. I don't know if there'll ever be another Shiba Inu. But I think it's the next massively successful blockchain. I mean, Binance is massively successful. Ethereum, massively successful. I just think SafuuX is going to be the next massively successful blockchain. It's going to be the one that everybody's going to want to develop their new crypto project on. It's going to be the one that everybody wants to be in. I know that Richard Hart is doing, like, Pulse Chain is going to do the same thing that SafuuX is going to be doing after the high APY. Like, Pulse Chain, I think, is going to have like a 38% APY or something like that per year, which is exactly what SafuuX will have after the high APY period is over. But we're going to do it first. Pulse Chain is going to do it later. We're going to be the first ones doing it. And there's something to be said for that, for being the first ones, And, we who are invested in Safuu, who believe in this, who know what we bought, we know what it's headed towards. We have a vision, we believe, we have faith, we stick to our guns, we just see where this thing is going, and nothing is going to deter us. I mean, with the price getting low is discouraging at times, for sure. But we just hodl, we hold, chill, rebase, and we know that better days are coming. Brian Legend told us that a little while ago. He said, just try to not pay too much attention to social media right now, because it's pretty negative at the moment. And he's like, just step away from it and just come back on October 20th and sacrifice and enjoy and reap the benefits. So, those of us who have strong conviction on Safuu, who believe in it, who are, in it to win it, we're all going to make it. We are all going to make it. And, I was given a very nice compliment by J-Rock. He said my videos are too short, that I should talk longer, so I'm going to try to. But I'm no Daniel Prado. Daniel Prado has a gift. Some people have that gift where you can literally just talk for hours and be captivating for hours and have interesting things to say for hours. That's what's amazing. Like, he says so much, Daniel Prado does, and all of it is interesting. All of it is captivating. All of it is said with passion. The man has a gift. He really does. He's very good at what he does. And we're very lucky to have him on the Safu team, for sure. He's a wonderful, wonderful human being. And the Greek, too. And all the YouTubers are great. But anyways, I was talking about people who can talk for long periods of time, and I think nobody can beat Daniel Prado in that regard. You know, some people can talk for long periods of time, but after a while you start looking at your watch. You know, with Daniel, you don't. Like, he's just captivating the whole time. So, let me see, what am I up to? 10. Ooh, all right. Look at that, 11 minutes. All right, I'm back up to my other video. My other video was 10 minutes. Anyways, the other thing that I talked about in the first version of this video was the reason that I'm positive, the reason that I'm optimistic and the fudders don't get me down is I'm Christian, as I've mentioned, and I have no reason to be negative. I really don't. Now, this is, you don't have to be a believer to get where I'm coming from here, to get this wisdom that you know, to get wisdom out of this, I guess. But in the Bible, there's stories of people who endured, people who had a vision and stuck with it and were rewarded for having faith, staying positive, speaking out what they wanted to see, not what they saw, but what they wanted to see, having a mental picture in their mind that guided them, and just having a positive outlook on things. There's story after story of people like that in the Bible. Joseph was a slave for like 10 years, and then he was jailed for 3 years. I might be wrong on the number of years, but it was something like that. I think he was 17 when he was sold into slavery by his brothers, and he was 30 years old when he became the prime minister of Egypt. So there was like a 13-year period there where he was a slave, and then a prisoner. And all through that time, he stayed positive. He stayed true to his ethics, and he just stuck to his beliefs. And in one day, you know, God changed his fortunes, and he went from being in the lowest dungeon to being literally the second most powerful person in Egypt, next to the Pharaoh. That all happened in one day for him. But he first went through those 13 years of difficulty. I'm not saying that we have to go through 13 years of difficulty. I'm just saying he had a positive outlook on things. I've already told the story of Caleb, who he was one of the 2 spies that went and spied out the promised land for the Israelites. There were 12 spies that went and spied out the promised land. 10 of them brought back a negative report saying there were giants in the land and we were like grasshoppers in their eyes. 2 of them brought back a positive report saying they are bread for us. Let's go kill them now. Let's go take this promised land. God said it's ours. Let's do this. And that was Caleb and Joshua. And who are the only 2 people of that generation who made it into the promised land? Caleb and Joshua. And not only that, like I said in another video, when they got to the promised land, not only was, Caleb wasn't satisfied with just being in the promised land. He wanted his own mountain, and it must have been a pretty glorious mountain, but it was inhabited by giants, and he told Joshua, give me this mountain. Like he didn't even mention the giants. Like, he didn't mention the difficulty. He didn't mention the uphill battle. He didn't mention any of that. He was asking Joshua, who was in charge at the time. He was saying, "Let me have this mountain." And it's like the people that inhabited it that he was going to have to fight and kill and defeat to take the mountain, that was not even part of the equation. To him, he wanted that mountain. All he had to do was ask for permission from Joshua. And Joshua said, "Go ahead, it's yours." And it was his. It doesn't even mention the fight. It just like Caleb. It just says Caleb took the mountain, or Caleb, built his town on the top of the mountain. Like, it doesn't even mention the fight. It was just, to him, it was effortless. And I believe, God gave him the victory, but he had that positive image, that positive picture in his mind, and I believe God honored that. There's another story that makes me say that, because there's Abraham. Up to 16 minutes. It's gonna be my longest video ever. And again, you don't have to be a believer to kind of see, the practical stuff in here. I'm not trying to, if you want to become a believer, cool, but I'm not trying to convert anybody. I know this is a talk about Safu, about crypto. But Abraham in the Bible one time was waiting for a child that God had promised him. God had promised Abraham and Sarah a son, the promised son. And Abraham was 75 years old, Sarah was 65, and they still didn't have their son. And Abraham at one point told God, "What are you going to do for me, seeing I go childless?" Like, that's what Abraham saw with his eyes, and that's what was in his heart, and that's what he spoke out. He told God, "Look, I'm childless. What are you going to do for me, seeing I have no child?" And so what did God do? He took Abraham outside and told him to look up at the night sky. And he said, "Look at those stars. That's how many your descendants are going to be. If you can count those stars, that's how many your descendants are going to be." God was giving Abraham a vision. He was giving him a mental picture to carry with him. And every single night, Abraham could just look up at the stars and be reminded of what God had told him, that that's how many descendants I'm going to have. Even though he was still childless, every night he had that to look up to, every night. And, we can sort of recreate that in a way with a vision board. If you want to have a positive outlook, create a vision board of what it is you want. I've done that ever since I've been in Safu. I would use the calculator on the website, move it all the way to the right, and then print that out, with the amount that it said I was going to have. Like, I would guess what the price would be on the final day, like March 1st, or like it used to be March 1st, and now it's July 17th. And I do that still. Every time I buy more Safu, I will print out. I haven't done it in a little while because the one that I have is pretty high. I have this Safu sacrifice price at $20. I might print out another one, but I always print it out and I put it up on my wall in my bathroom, and it shows me how much I could potentially have by a certain period, by a certain date. By July 17th now that it's going to be the blockchain, and that's going to be the end of the high APY period. And I look at that every single time I go, brush my teeth and wash my face. Like, I look up and I see that it's next to my mirror in my bathroom. And I have a couple other pictures there too of goals that I have, of the house that I want, of the physique that I want. And, I just look at that and I just say, thank you. That stuff is mine. Who was it that said that? It was the guy that was the mentor of Tony Robbins' mentor. His name was Earl Shobe. Earl Shobe. You can look him up on YouTube. He's wonderful. If you ever find his videos, he's wonderful. I don't remember how you spell his last name, but maybe if you just speak it, YouTube will know who he is. Earl Shobe. It's black and white videos of him. He lived and died quite a while ago. But he said, when you have that vision, just say thank you, that's mine, and just do that daily. Whenever you look at that picture, thank you, that's mine. Thank you, that's my physique, or thank you, that's my bank account, or thank you, that's my house, and you know, just keep being thankful that those things are yours. Speak what you want to see, not what you see, and that is a principle from the Bible, to speak what you want to see, not what you see. We walk by faith, not by sight. And so Abraham, he had the night sky to look at every night, and that's how many descendants he was going to have. And then the next thing that God did, because Abraham did that for 24 years, and in that 24 years, him and Sarah once again lost faith, and they tried to take matters into their own hands, and they had a son. He had a son with his slave Hagar, and that son was Ishmael, who would later become the Arab races. And anyways, Abraham and Sarah, after 24 years of waiting, and by this time, Abraham is 99, Sarah is 89, and they still don't have a child. And that's what's happening with us now, is we're tired. We've been waiting so long. We've been so expectant, so optimistic, and it's just things are taking a turn for the worse, or that they have not gone the way we expected. And it's just like, it's not that it's taking longer than we thought, because we know we have dates and times and deadlines and all this stuff, but it's more like things have not gone well for a long time. Price has been going down steadily for a long time, and it can tire you out, because it takes endurance to be optimistic for long periods of time, through setback after setback, and issue after issue, and trial, hurdle after hurdle, all these problems we've been having, and you can get tired and worn out and discouraged and depressed and all these things. And for us, we try to stay positive, and it's hard to sometimes. And the fudders try to make it worse, but honestly, I don't think the fudders have any effect whatsoever, positive or negative. I think mostly we get discouraged by price going down, and the fudders, they think that they have an effect, and that probably gives them some sense of importance in their lives. It gives them some sense of significance, but honestly, they have no effect, positive or negative. So if any fudders are watching this, and you feel like you get some kind of value, like you feel some kind of, if you get your value out of trying to bring people down with your FUD and with your negativity, just know that that's, first off, it's silly to try and get your value from harming people. But secondly, you're not having the effect you think that you're having. So, but I know people do engage with fudders and get mad at them and stuff. And it's like, you really shouldn't. They're small people. They don't deserve much of your thought. That being said, we're all children of God. But anyways, getting off track here. So Abraham, after 24 years, looking up at this night sky, trying to remain hopeful, and God knows that Abraham is losing hope, getting discouraged. He's like, man, 99 years old and I still don't have a son. And so, first off, his name was Abram at the time, which means exalted father. God changed Abram's name to Abraham, which means father of multitudes. And now Abraham, every time he called himself by his name, father of multitudes, he was in essence saying, I'm a father of multitudes. So God first changed the vision in his mind by giving him the night sky to look at, and then God changed his speaking, what he was saying out loud, by changing his name. And what happened 3 months later, after God changed Abraham's speaking? Isaac was conceived, because Isaac came 1 year later. And if you think that it takes 9 months for a baby to be developed and born, that's how you get the 3 months later he was conceived. So, have a vision, speak positively, and it's not just Christianity that has this principle. I know that there's other religions. I think the Hindu faith believes in manifesting. Is that right? Maybe, I don't know too much about it, but there are other religions or other schools of thought that believe in manifesting, like you can speak things into existence. I know that Earl Nightingale says to have a goal. A ship without a goal is just going to end up in the middle of the ocean derelict, running out of gas, and just is going to end up on some stranded island eventually. But a ship with a goal is going to move towards that steadily, and it's going to get there, and it's going to get there quickly. So have a goal, have a vision, speak positively, and speak what you want to see, not what you see. Maybe make a vision board, because those things are super good, in my opinion. and just try to stay positive, because there are good things coming. Just like Daniel Prado said, know what you bought. Know that we are super early in a blockchain. I mean, this is like Binance in 2017 or Ethereum in 2014, potentially on freaking steroids. Potentially. With the things that Brian Legend is doing, the marketing he's doing, the way that he's designed SafuuX, the blockchain, this could be bigger than Bitcoin. I know everybody compares everything to Bitcoin, and people, but this could potentially be the biggest blockchain of all time, at least up until now. Maybe at some point in the future there'll be another blockchain that'll be bigger, because more people are getting into crypto all the time, but this could be the biggest one yet. So there's going to be likely a price jump, on January 20th, the first day when a bunch of people start buying in. And man, just enjoy the ride. If the price continues to go up, enjoy that. If the price goes down, then, buy that dip. But either way, if you don't have any money to buy the dip, then just chill and rebase. As the Greek says and other people say, just chill and rebase, relax. Everything's fine. And there are good things coming. All right, keep your eyes on the prize, which is the SafuuX blockchain. And just not financial advice. Just throw that out there for the first time in this 30-minute video. This is my longest video ever. And it's because J-Rock gave me such a nice compliment. Said that my videos are too short and he'd like to hear me talk more. So thank you, J-Rock. And thank you everybody that comments on my video, like Blessings, and who's the other person that's always there? Man, I'm gonna feel bad if I can't think up your name. Who is it? Man, they're always there too. Man, I'm sorry, I can't remember your name right now, but I know you're always there, and I appreciate you. But to everybody who comments, and even the fudders, sometimes I have an interesting conversation with them every now and then. I appreciate everybody who watches my videos, and I enjoy making them, and and sometimes I just really gotta talk, really just got to make a video. Just got to get one out. So this was one of those times because I try not to go by my feelings because oftentimes my feelings are wrong. But something good happened today. Went up 10 cents, and there are good things coming. I mean, that's not even based on feelings. This is based on fact. There are good things coming. All right. I think that's it. I think I've covered everything I covered in the first video, and then some. And Soulfield put out an awesome video recently. He's putting out lots of good content. There's a lot of good YouTubers out there putting a lot of great content out, but it's like recently we've kind of had a shortage of like positive YouTube videos. I mean, I guess all of them are kind of positive, but it just seems like there's been like less coming out lately. So it's like the few really good ones I like to call out. Like Soulfield put out a really positive video just yesterday. And Prado is always positive. He's good. I actually haven't watched much of Prado lately, but I watched a little bit of his video today, and it was really good. Greek is always wonderful. Greek is the man. And Curtheus is always on top of stuff. That dude knows a lot. He's a very technical-minded guy. He's on top of all the technical stuff, and he's just a real smart guy. Keeps track of everything. And let me think, what else? I can't think of anything else. I can't do what Daniel Prado does. I can't talk for an hour and a half. I mean, I probably could, but there's probably going to be some silence as I think of what to say next. But that's all I got for now. I was excited. I saw the price go up 10 cents. I hesitate to say that it's going to keep going up because every time I do, I get proven wrong. I don't want to say, but man, I really feel like there's good things coming. I really do. So let's leave it at that. Not financial advice, as usual. Thank you for watching if you've watched all the way to this point. I appreciate you and love you all. We're all going to make it.